What is going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, first things first, sorry I haven't uploaded for a while, mainly because A, I haven't really thought of any good ideas to do a video on, and B, I just really haven't been bothered. So, we've got, once again, the new Nintendo 3DS in front of us, which means another review. Now, we've already done multiple reviews on this, and even though it is the new Nintendo 3DS, as you can see there, it does look a little bit beaten up, if I can get that focus, because I actually did get this one refurbished. You can check out that video on my channel, links in the description for my channel. Now that we do have the 3DS here, of course, it's going to be a game review, so we can put that to the side for now, get that focus, and we're going to be reviewing this. Lego Lord of the Rings. Now, keep in mind that this is the DS version of the game and not the 3DS version. Main reason why is because when I was actually looking for this game, they didn't have the 3DS version in stores. And when you look around online, you never know because 3DS systems are region locked, which kind of sucks. So, yeah, you don't really want to be buying online with things like eBay and stuff just because you got to make sure. If you're buying games for the DS or 3DS, I recommend buying in stores, because that's when you know you'll get a game that will actually work. Because if you buy online, you might get an American card or American cartridge, and they won't work on the Australian/European consoles. So, that out of the way. So, this is the DS version of Lego Lord of the Rings. Now, if you guys don't know, Lego Lord of the Rings is actually one of the first video games I ever played, and it's actually one of my favourites still to this day. And it may sound a little bit childish, but, whatever. So, this game came back, okay, I can't even talk, it's been so long since I've done a video. So, this actually came out on the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC, 3DS, and DS, and I think it came out in the PS Vita as well. So, if I just zoom in here, join the battle in the greatest adventure ever built, fight your way across Middle-earth in an epic adventure that will decide the fate of the world. Very similar to the Lord of the Rings movies. So, as you can see on the front, it looks like a pretty good game, right? The graphics and stuff don't look too bad, but if you look at these pictures here, you'll notice that they are skimped down to like a mobile version, largely due to the fact that the DS did not have very powerful internals, and it doesn't have a high-resolution screen either. Now, this is very similar to the port on the 3DS, except the DS is pretty much the bottom of the bottom. The 3DS port is, from what I've seen, is a lot better than the DS one. So, yeah, so if we open this up, that's what the cartridge looks like. It's pretty much the same across. Now, the 3DS version of this will be the exact same, except this will be white, and it'll have 3DS, and it'll have that little, like, rectangular piece outside. So let's put that to the side, and let's go 3DS. I had to plug it in because I forgot to charge it. Alright, put that in. Now, I do have to keep the sound down for this. Is it? Okay. So, I do have to keep the sound down for this, largely due to the fact that Lord of the Rings has copyrighted music. So, let's get into the game. Now, because this is a DS game, it does take a little while to load. I'll just make sure I have that off. And because you are playing this on the 3DS, you won't have... Well, this is a DS game, so you won't have any of the 3D functions of the 3DS. So, I think most people would know that, but, yeah. Can I skip this? Okay, skip all that. And at first glance, it does look a little bit fake. So, let's open up the game that I already have. This is, set to the part of the story where the Fellowship of the Ring goes to Lothlorien. I think that's how you pronounce it. So, as you can see, well, there's no dialogue in this game. There's subtitles, but there's actually no dialogue except for the cutscenes. Well, there's very little dialogue. And this game is... Now, the controls in this game are a bit weird, as you can see. This is because it's designed for the DS and not the 3DS. Jesus, I cannot speak. So, everything about this is very toned down. Like, you don't even have the widescreen, you just have the square display. Everything looks blocky. But one thing actually about this game is that you had a lot of different characters, because there's actually some things in this game that the console versions and the PC versions doesn't even have. So in this game, what you can do, you of course press B to jump, A should do this thing, square to Y to attack, and that to switch characters. And I think if you hold X with certain character, no, oh my god, I'm so used to it. When we're talking about letters on a controller, I always think of the Xbox. So when you hold Y, you can do this like swing attack thing, and this swing feature isn't even on the console version. And there's actually characters in this that aren't on the console version either. Like, this is called Frodo Adventurer. So the difference between this and the normal Frodo is basically just his shirt opened up a little bit so you can see the mithril shirt that Bilbo gave him in part of the Lord of the Rings. And that character isn't actually available in the console Lord of the Rings. Now, it doesn't actually provide any, like, new things. One thing I do remember about the mithril shirt, though, is that it did give him extra protection. That's how he was able to survive the swing from that troll's club. I feel like through this review, I'm going to be spoiling a lot of Lord of the Rings, so if you haven't seen it, I wouldn't recommend watching this video, so yeah. In terms of the story and gameplay, if we can open up a level, I don't know if we'll be able to here. What's this bring us to? Okay, what happens if we go here? Pasa Karatis, Bray, Rivendell. Okay, so that's how you travel to different places. So, let's go to... let's go to Rivendell. Now, if you guys know Rivendell or have played LEGO Lord of the Rings, you know Rivendell was a very bright, vibrant place. If it loads. Does this look like Rivendell? Not really. So, of course, this does have its faults, and to be honest, you can never make the perfect game. That's, like, almost impossible. Can I bring up the character selection? Yeah, here we go. So, if I just bring this up here, you'll notice that there's a lot of, like... I think that's just the main fellowship, but there is quite a few characters in this game. Like, if you know the normal roster for this game, it's pretty small. Whereas this game, I feel like it actually has a slightly bigger roster, or it doesn't have all the characters of the console versions, but it actually has like some small extra ones. Now, in terms of gaming performance, it's actually not the greatest. Even playing on the 3DS, or the new Nintendo 3DS, which has much better hardware than the original 3DS and 2DS. I don't actually know how much better it is, but it does supposedly have better hardware. But in terms of gaming performance, it's not very great. So I'd say this is probably less than 20 frames per second. It's probably closer to like 15 or something like that. This is just purely based off my eyes. Now, it doesn't seem bad when I'm just walking around in this area, but when you get into like fighting like goblins or stuff, it can get very laggy. You're probably approaching like 10 FPS. So the performance on this is not very great. Overall, in terms of like story gameplay and stuff, it's actually not that bad. Even though everything's pixelated, it looks a bit jerky, and the performance isn't great. It's still the full Lord of the Rings experience. Well, not full Lord of the Rings experience, but it's close enough for a portable handheld. And as you can see, you just go there and it's like, oh yeah, I got a mission for you, can you do it for me? So yeah, you got missions in this game, and because this is a DS game, you could just press the home button, and yeah. So this doesn't actually have multitasking because the original DSi didn't have multitasking. Now, I've probably mentioned more, or talked more about the movie of Lord of the Rings rather than the game, but my overall thoughts on the game, it's not bad, especially for a mobile port. I think it's actually pretty decent. Like, compared to some other mobile ports, I think, out of all the mobile ports I've seen, I think LEGO Marvel Superheroes and the Indiana Jones ones are trash. So, this Lord of the Rings, considering it came out in 2012, it's really not that bad. So, if you're looking for a good LEGO game on your 3DS, then LEGO Lord of the Rings is definitely worth a look. But I would recommend going with the 3DS version over the DS version, but it just depends on which console you have. If you have the 3DS or DS, just go with whatever you prefer. So, now these games aren't actually available brand new anymore. I had to get mine used, because this is, of course, a 2012 game, and the 3DS is dying, as people might already know, with the release of the Nintendo Switch Lite and stuff like that. So, overall, LEGO Lord of the Rings, pretty good game, but it's not the greatest. I definitely prefer the console version over this one, so the console version would definitely take the win here, but it still isn't that bad. If you're looking for a decent game on the 3DS, I probably would look elsewhere, but if you're looking for a good LEGO game on the 3DS, this is definitely worth a look. Now, this review was a bit up and down and a little bit all over the place, but I'll try make the quality of these videos a bit better in terms of dialogue, I guess. I don't know, commentary. There we go. God, I don't even know what it's like to do a video anymore because I never do them. Alright, so if you guys did enjoy this, remember to hit that thumbs up button or subscribe. And if you guys don't know, I do have a second channel called kaigamez. I'll leave that in the description. Also, subscribe to my friends, SM Studios, 562 Kiwi Smith, Red Pop Gamer, and yeah, just go on my channel, got a whole bunch of friends, go subscribe to them. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video, which will probably be a 3DS review because I have no other ideas for videos. Yeah, so I'll catch you in the next one. Catch you guys later. Peace out.